AI has been one of the biggest buzzwords used everywhere in the past year or two. From different companies and technology, they all advertise AI. But what is AI? Today, we're going to break it down, talking about the key types of AI, defining what AI even is, and talk about some of the obstacles that currently exist with AI. Let's get started. At its core, AI refers to the ability of a machine to imitate intelligent human behavior. AI systems are designed to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as recognizing speech, making decisions, and solving problems. The goal of AI is to create machines that can work autonomously or by themselves and learn from their experiences. Now, let's dive into some key definitions that you need to know. Artificial intelligence, a branch of computer science focused on creating systems that can perform tasks that would normally require human intelligence. These tasks include understanding natural language, recognizing patterns, and making decisions. Machine learning, a subset of AI that involves training algorithms on data so they can make predictions or decisions without being explicitly programmed for each specific task. Machine learning is based on this idea that systems can learn from data and improve over time. Deep learning, a specialized subset of machine learning that uses neural networks with many layers to analyze various forms of data. Deep learning is particularly effective for complex tasks like image and speech recognition. Now, let's dive in to the key types of AI. We have narrow and generative AI. First off, let's start with narrow AI, which is sometimes called weak AI. In narrow AI, you train a machine to do a specific task. It can do that task very well, but if you ask it to do a different task, it obviously is not trained to do it, so it would fail. So think of narrow as just knowing what is taught. This could be recognizing faces, recommending products, or filtering spam from your email. Narrow AI operates within set boundaries and cannot step outside those limitations. Now let's define some key characteristics of narrow AI. Task specific. It can only do one thing, such as translating languages or sorting images. Predefined rules. It works based on pre-programmed rules or algorithms. Data-driven. The more data it processes, the better it gets at specific tasks. Reactive. It responds to a specific problem but doesn't go beyond its given role. So now that we've defined what narrow AI is, talked about some key characteristics, let's give some examples that you may see in your day-to-day life. Voice assistants, Siri and Alexa. These assistants are programmed to follow voice commands, such as playing music or setting reminders, but they can't hold a creative conversation or write a story. Recommendation systems, like Netflix and Amazon. These algorithms suggest content based on user behavior. For example, Netflix recommends movies based on what you've previously watched. Facial recognition, Apple Face ID. The system unlocks your phone by recognizing your face, but it can't generate or manipulate new images. Spam filters, like Gmail. These algorithms identify and filter out spam emails based on patterns in data, but they can't write or edit the emails themselves. So that's narrow AI. is trained to do one specific thing and it can't create new things. But it is good at what it's trained to do. Now let's talk about generative AI. Generative AI is different because it can create new things. It can generate new things. That's how you can memorize it. Generative AI can generate or create new things, whereas narrow AI cannot. Generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that creates new content, such as text, images, music, or even code. Instead of just following predefined rules like narrow AI, generative AI learns from existing data and uses that knowledge to generate original content. Next, let's identify some key characteristics of generative AI. Creativity. It can produce new outputs, like writing an article or generating artwork. Deep learning. Often based on advanced models like transformer models, it can generate new and diverse content. Adaptive. It can learn from its outputs and feedback, improving its ability to create meaningful and relevant content over time. Generalization. Generative AI can use the patterns it learns to create something new, even in unfamiliar contexts. Now, let's break down some examples. The most popular one, probably in today's world, is ChatGPT. This model can generate human-like text. It can write essays, stories, code, or even answer complex questions by generating content based on the input it receives. DALL-E. This model can create unique images from text descriptions, such as a cat sitting in a chair in the style of Van Gogh. GitHub Copilot. It assists developers by generating blocks of code based on partially written snippets or prompts, making coding faster and more efficient. Deepfake technology. Generative AI can create highly realistic but altered videos, allowing for the manipulation of video content to show people doing or saying things they never did. So as you can see, generative AI is more free-forming. It can do various tasks, while narrow AI is just one specific task. Let's dive deeper into the other differences between the two. Their learning process. Narrow AI becomes more effective through data processing within its domain. Generative AI uses deep learning to generate something new based on the patterns it learns. Adaptability. Narrow AI is reactive but restricted to its task. Generative AI can adapt to different tasks and contexts, making it more versatile. So while all this sounds amazing, both have their challenges. Ethical concerns. Generative AI in particular raises issues around deepfakes, misinformation, and content ownership. As it can generate highly realistic content, it may be used for malicious purposes, like creating fake videos. Bias. Both types of AI are only as good as the data they're trained on. If the data contains biases, the AI may produce biased results, which is especially problematic in areas like hiring or law enforcement. Interpretability. Generative AI models, in particular, are often black boxes, meaning it can be difficult to understand how they arrive at their conclusions or creations. So in simple terms, narrow AI is like a specialized tool, great at doing one thing, but not capable of anything beyond a specific task. Whereas generative AI is more like a creative pattern. It learns from data. It can generate new things, such as text, images, or music, based on what is learned. If you're new here and are enjoying the video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. But to wrap it up, you can see that both generative and narrow AI will play a key role in our future. Will new regulations from the government or the roadblocks be created for AI in the future? We'll have to wait and see.